Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, BM Boldt is back. He is back from Mexico. He and his lovely trophy wife were skipping on the sands, and he could hardly wait to get back here to talk Gary Moore. He's here. We're looking at Gary Moore Band and Colosseum 2. Let's do it.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, BM Boldt is back. He was skipping with the trophy wife through the sands of Mexico, hand in hand, drinking the various fruity drinks that he could drink down in Mexico. But he's back and he still has his sickness.
Got COVID.
He's got COVID, ladies and gentlemen.
But
he's here. He's powering through it. He's already done a show with John the Music Nut. He is a trooper, a true professional. How was your trip to Mexico, Byron?
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Nice weather.
Of course. Yeah.
What part of Mexico were you in again?
We go to Acamal, which is the Yucatan Peninsula. So It's on the Caribbean side.
So there are no cartels within the vicinity.
No, I don't see any. We stick pretty close to the resort. So
yeah, you got to, because you don't want to get mixed up in the cartels.
No.
Though I know Stephanie would probably like to, but I know how she is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is episode 2 in our Gary Moore series. We're looking at the Gary Moore Band. We're looking at Colosseum. BM Boldt, even though he is sicker than a dog, he's going to perform. So anyway, let's look at the chat, Byron. Let's see who's here tonight. Sir Damien Frost, he's here, of course. We've got Cretan is here. Cretan is in full force tonight. Stephen David, there he is. He is here. Marlon's here, waving to Ken. Everybody's here. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We're going to talk a little Gary Moore. Of course, we do want to hear from you in the chat. The warehouse is ready to go. So anyway, Byron, we'll give a little bit of an update. Where's my page at? So anyway, this is episode 2 in our Gary Moore series. I feel like we haven't done one of these in a long time for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's been about 6 weeks.
I know. It feels like I'm rusty or something.
I mean, I was on vacation. I've been sick. We got other shows going on. It'll all work out.
It's all good. Anyway, we're jumping to, we've already given a bio on this band, so we're going to talk about the Grinding Stone. So this was credited to the Gary Moore Band, released in 1973 on CBS. This marks Gary's solo debut, only at 21. This is recorded after he departed Skid Row. When I listen to this record, I think it's very eclectic. It's a blend of blues, rock, and jazz. Wait till we get to Colosseum, ladies and gentlemen. And I know Marlon is just sitting here just antsy, can hardly wait till we really get going. Until we were going to talk about this record and Byron turned me on to it, I really was unaware of this record. So I'm listening to this record kind of like it was my first time to listen to it. Anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Byron to get us started. Byron, the Gary Moore Band. Go ahead. We're ready.
Yeah, nobody has ever heard of this album, really.
No.
Hardcore. I don't know if I've ever seen an original copy of it.
I've never seen an original copy, and I must say the CD that I ordered was an import. I don't think this ever got a domestic CD release. I'm not even sure if it really came out on vinyl back here in the States.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did it?
I was looking on Discogs, and it did come out on some weird label. And then most of the pressings, though, with the American cover have an imported vinyl because they didn't print it. I don't know. They just had trouble getting enough American pressings up to speed, or maybe they just got a late start on it. But a lot of the American pressings have a British vinyl. So,
Well, Marlon's already commenting, saying it's not a good album.
well, we'll see about that.
All right. Yeah. I think that's pretty negative, Marlon. I can't believe you'd start out so negative about Gary Moore.
But
JBJ loves his Colosseum 2 albums. Well, they're good. Jason's never heard of it. All right. Well, we're going to talk to it. I'm going to let, we're done talking to everybody in the chat for now. Byron, take it away.
yeah, so this series we're kind of covering Gary chronologically, and I'm also going to throw in some oddball things that he plays in here and there, so we don't miss some things. But
Well, we will cover the Greg Lake albums.
oh yeah, we're going to get to all that. I'm going to throw out a few really oddball things though throughout.
Even
this
more
series.
Oddball than Greg Lake. Okay.
Oh yeah, way more oddball. So Gary, after he left Skid Row, he spent 1972 and 73 basically trying to get this band together for the Grinding Stone album. Prior to the album coming out, though, he played on an album by a guy named Jonathan Kelly. I think he was an Irish singer, and Gary plays on 3 tracks on that. Nothing special. Just thought I'd throw it out there. But so he did get this band going, and it consisted of Gary on guitar, John Curtis on bass, Pierce Kelly on drums, and Jan Shellhouse on keyboards. I know that name. I think he played with some band I've heard of. I just can't remember top of my head. There's quite a bit of keyboards on here at times. But so yeah, the album came out in May of 73, produced by Martin Birch. And to me, this was a big jump from Skid Row.
I think so too, yeah.
I think it sounds really good. Gary's trying lots of different stuff. I complained a little bit about his singing on the Skid Row stuff. Thought he was trying to get a little hit notes that he couldn't quite reach sometimes. But I think he pulls that in a little bit here. And his playing, I think, is really starting to mature as well. He's starting to get his own sound going. And we discussed we'd probably play a little bit of the first track, final track. It's 9.5 minutes, so we'll probably fade it out after about halfway so you guys can hear some of it. When you listen to this, tell me, do you hear any Allman Brothers or Santana influence going on? And I'll leave it at that.
All right, let's play. We're going to play a track off the debut. We do want to hear from you in the chat. Let us know yay or nay. I will say this. I dig it. So here we go. Let us know what you think. Awfully big intro, though. Yes. I'm just saying. It's majestic.
Here comes your Allman Brothers. Oh, you already got to look at that.
Very Allman Brothers. Remember, Marlon said this was horrible. This was bad. Said it was not good. love it. Listen to that. Oh, that was a good run right there.
Whenever you feel it.
What?
You can fade it if you want.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Give me another minute. This part's almost kind of has a psychedelic feel to it.
Always Fleetwood Mac and Santana.
Yes. Spider reminds me of early Journey. I dig it. All right, we can fade it out. I don't want to fade it out, but
It goes on and on.
I know we got like 3 minutes. Hang on, let's just play it, everybody. Let's just play it to the end. That's freaking, this smokes. I'm sorry, this smokes. All it needs is a saxophone.
Yeah.
Now that's an ending, Byron. Yeah. All I can say, this is a young Gary Moore at 21 years old.
It's going off.
What more can you? 21.
Yeah. People are
That's all I can
asking-
say.
People are kind of asking about this album. You know, there are one or two things on here that aren't the greatest. But I'll be honest. There's a song on here called Spirit, which is way too long, 17 minutes and 14 seconds. But
Yeah.
it's a lot like that. It's this long Allman Brothers influence. It has some vocals on it, and it's got this kind of long, proggy interlude with a lot of keyboards going on it. And it's a little long, but I do like it. And it busts into like a Santana Jingo vibe at times too. So those are both the standouts. Song on here called Time to Heal, which feels like a vocal type Allman Brothers song, which I don't think it's too bad. There's a ballad called Sail Across the Mountain. It's okay. To me, the keyboards and the guitar, slide guitar on there give me a kind of an early Pink Floyd feel, not like the soundtrack, early soundtrack sound feel. I can't remember. The albums are going. I'm getting dementia or something, but I'm losing track of
You've
that.
got COVID, Byron.
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't believe we're even doing this show today.
More soundtrack and obscured by clouds is kind of some of that feel. But there's a song called Energy Jam. It's 2.5 minutes. It's just a straight prog fusion piano synth instrumental. You would never expect to hear that on here. And then the last track is called Boogie My Way Back Home. The first 2 minutes are like a Delta blues of just Gary and the guitar and singing, and the rest is more of a boogie. But that's really the whole album.
Yeah, but I still think it's worthy.
Yeah,
I think it's a worthy record to get. God, he was only 21. You have to take that in consideration. Freaking unbelievable.
yeah.
If you were going to rate this album out of 10, what would you give it?
I didn't write that down, did I? Let's give it an 8.
I wouldn't. 8's pretty good. I'd probably give it a. Don't forget, this is really the first Gary Moore thing. I'm not counting Skid Row. This is Gary Moore taking the reins, so to speak. I think it's pretty ambitious. I know everybody was talking about that there's a lot of different, maybe this is the best track on the record. I mean, of course, he's blending blues, rock, jazz. It might not lack the polish of some of the stuff that we're going to listen to or strong hooks, but man, I think to me, if you're a Gary Moore fan, you have to have it. It's not his best stuff, but man, I just think if you put it in perspective, this is the thing. You've got to put this all in perspective.
It's better than the
kid.
I think it's way better than the Skid Rows.
Better than the Skid Rows, yes.
But
I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I think you have to have it. What did Marlon say? Marlon said,
To me, it's a hidden gem. You know,
of course, Marlon really knows this record. He gave it a 5.5 out of 10. I don't agree with that. I love the record. I think it's I don't have a problem with this record. Rand, you're here. Do you have a rating out of 10 maybe for this? Anybody else?
Rand said he used to have it and got rid of it.
Well, see, he had poor
It wasn't
judgment.
proggy enough for him. That's why.
Don't forget his favorite Yes album is that damn Topographic record. So keep that in consideration.
But yeah, you know, I got a little homemade thing I made of this album and a show from the Marquee from the same time period. Because they did tour. Most of the songs on the boots that I've seen though aren't even on the album. They only do maybe 2 things from the album. There's a lot of blues covers and stuff like that on there, which is kind of cool but the sound quality is really bad on those. And
anyway,
then, you know,
go ahead.
But so, you know, that album came out, what did I say, in May? And then they toured a little bit. And then by January of 74, Gary gives up and joins Thin Lizzy.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're not looking at those Thin
many
Lizzy
times. We're not going to really get into Thin Lizzy tonight.
No, we're not getting into Thin Lizzy tonight.
I'm bringing it up because, you know, maybe someday we'll do a Thin Lizzy series or something. They've been talked about, you know.
If we don't, both of us don't die, we might do it. Okay.
You know, but so he joined Thin Lizzy, and he toured with them a little bit, did a lot of radio shows, things like that. BBC. They only recorded 3 tracks in the studio. One of them made it onto the Nightlife album, and that was the original "Still in Love with You." And then they did a single called Little Darling, which got released, and then another song called Shitamoia, which is on like some compilations. But that was really it. He was with them for a few months, didn't really work out, recorded a few things, and then he moved on. So anyway, let's kind of move this forward.
Let's jump to Colosseum. You want to talk about, you want me to do it?
Go ahead and talk about it.
All right. Colosseum 2, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Wait, if you haven't heard Colosseum 2, just wait, because we're going to play some tracks from these as well. Formed in 1975 by drummer John Heisman, which, if you haven't heard John Heisman play drums,
he's incredible.
Because I hadn't heard these records until we did this show. So absolutely unbelievable. That's all I'm going to say. Yes. So he was in a band called Tempest, and of course the original Colosseum. So they broke up.
You know, it was in Tempest, right?
No.
Guitarists, they did, I think, 2 studio. The first one was Alan Holdsworth on guitar.
Okay.
And Paul Williams on vocals, who was in, and then the Paul Williams from the IOU band. Then the second album was Ollie Halsall, who I'm not really that familiar with, but I've heard he's kind of he's a lot like Holdsworth, and he died pretty young. And I need to check out more of that guy. Go ahead.
Anyway, Tempest, Alan Holdsworth. We can't hear all this stuff, so this is why we do these shows. So we're turned on to things. This show is all about turning you on to stuff. So anyway, this Colosseum, we had the original Colosseum. We broke up. This is progressive jazz rock, fusion, pretty heavy. Gary Moore's guitar work on this. Well, we're going to play a track. So you've got Moore on guitar vocals, Don Airey, the great Don Airey, who is now in Deep Purple, who played with Ozzy. Absolutely. Wait till you hear, if you haven't heard this stuff, wait till you hear Don Airey. Absolute machine. Neil Murray on bass, later replaced by John Moll. Vocalist Mike Starrs until 1976. Anyway, 3 albums, all commercial flops. They broke up in 1978, and then Moore joined Thin Lizzy. Airey joined Rainbow. Okay. We're going to start out with Strange New Flesh, 1976. Byron, do you want to introduce this and talk a little bit about it? And
I got a few things I need to say first.
Oh, of course you do. Go ahead.
So Gary met John Heisman, like he said, incredible drummer, in August of 74. they decided they were going to work together. And then by May of 75, they had their lineup solidified. And I really think Gary just wanted to push his playing to the limits with this band and take it to the next level. Before the album came out, he did some work on Eddie Howell's album, a song called Miss America, with some people from Brand X. So I think he is starting to kind of get involved with some of these English, jazz fusion guys.
Yeah.
That wasn't remarkable. Then I just discovered this. He played on a 45 of these guys that are called the Soul Searchers. There's 2 tracks, and I think he's on 1 track. But the guys on this are John Goodsall, Gary Moore, Jack Lancaster, Percy Jones, Robin Lumley, Bill Bruford, Phil Collins, and it's funky fusion.
Yeah.
And that I just discovered that. I never heard about it. One other quick thing before we get into this.
That's all right.
This came out in November of 75, and this is called Peter and the Wolf. It's like the other Peter. It's narrated, and it's rock bands playing on it. You've got members of Brand X and others. It's pretty interesting. But it's not great. But I got to have it since I'm Gary Moore collector. So.
He's a Gary Moore completist.
Somewhat. So I'm just throwing all these things out there. So then, okay, let's get to the Strange New Flesh. That came out March of 76, a few months later. And this is different because you've got a singer on this album. You didn't have a singer in the band on the last 2 albums. Well, Gary sings it. There's a dedicated singer on here. His name is Mike Starrs. Neil Murray is the bassist, like you said, Gary and John Heisman. Musicianship is stellar on this album.
Oh.
But this album is really not like the next 2, except for like one or 2 things. This has got a lot more jazzy, soulful vocals. Some people like the vocals, some don't. Gary's style, though, is really coming to fruition on this album. We decided we're going to play one song on here, and we're going to go with one with some vocals.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to play the very first song, but the very first song is instrumental, and it's a lot like the second and third album. So I thought we'd play something that has the vocals so you get a feel for that.
Now, I trimmed off the big drum intro, and I'm going straight to where the instrumentation starts because the drum intro is quite long, but it's very impressive. But, we only,
This wins?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We only have so much time, kids. So we're going to just jump right into the instrumental part of it. And
vocals too, right?
Yeah, we got vocals. We can play it for as long as we want. But all right, let's go. This is Win. Reminds me of the Todd Rundgren and Utopia record, the first Utopia album.
There's none to call the wind alive, save those whose limbs can flow as fast, can creep up on the watchful truth and block her sleeves, distract her eyes. Steers his false bell, the tolling in the belfry. The loudest tongue is his whose ear is untuned to what's likely. And thus the knowing spark is fanned into the mindless flame, denouncing all across its path that blots out trace of blame.
showing off.
and fills the heart of fire. Only the blind man sees so well. He can call the wind a hold on for my ride, returns my day. Before the wind, history written afresh.
I mean, this is very
As the
proggy.
beginning becomes the end.
Very proggy. Yeah, Zappa, Utopia, 100%. Yeah. Rand, ladies and gentlemen. Close to the edge. Don Airy, though, is the man. Don Airy is a machine. Yeah. Listen to the bass, too. Ladies and gentlemen, the Count. If this isn't hot shit, I don't know what is. idea.
can call.
All right, there you go. I'm sorry, I could have kept going, but man, I love it. I love it. It is a great combination of prog, jazz fusion, and like people said in the chat, very Zappa-like. And I always hear that whole first two Utopia albums. It's very similar to that, only it's kind of like the first two Utopia albums on steroids. That's the way I listen to it.
Yeah,
Byron.
there's a little more. These rock. at
They
times,
rock.
too. Yeah, we're. But
See shit.
the first track on here though is actually called "Dark Side of the Moog," and that is an instrumental, and it feels like the next two albums. It's very prog fusion, no low vocals. I think it's the best track on there. Like I said, I just wanted to play something with some vocals so you guys could hear it. And and the next track is "Down to You," which is a Joni Mitchell track, 9 minutes. It's kind of another just smooth fusion track, jazzy, nice piano solo, some acoustic guitar. Gemini and Leo's funky fusion track. Gary's got some real aggressive soloing on that. Secret Places. It's probably the most rock song on here. Gary does a little help with the vocals. His guitar playing soars on it. And then on Second Thoughts, 7.5 minutes, slow and moody track with electric piano and synths. And then the last track is the one we just listened to, Winds. A couple other things I want to say about the album before we move on. But so I have this deluxe version. This has 14 more tracks on it. So, I mean, and some of them are pretty damn long. You're probably getting another hour and a half of music on these that you don't get. A lot of alternatives, like earlier versions of tracks. Some of the tracks are unreleased completely. There's a couple live things on here. And some of it's not all from this lineup. Some of it's from later lineups without the singer, and Gary's doing some singing. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't heard that. And I'm going to give that album an 8.
Let me see what I gave it. I gave it, let me scroll. I gave it an 8 as well. Great, strong fusion debut. Progressive, it's complex. The musicianship, like everybody's mentioned in the comments, excellent. You've got a good mix of vocal and instrumental tracks. And I find the record, you never know where it's going to go. And it totally brings you in, and you're just captivated by the quality of the musicianship.
It's top notch, man.
It's look, I sound like a schoolgirl, but it's great. Now, why did this not take off? Does anybody in the chat know why this never took off? I have no idea. No one bought it when it came out.
It's prog fusion, kind of.
You think that was the problem?
That stuff was fairly popular back in the 70s, mid 70s. So I don't know. Maybe because they were English.
Maybe.
British.
All right. Well, let's go to the next record. We're going to go into Electric Savage. That's 1977. This time the band shifted to MCA Records. Well, God knows if you shift to MCA Records, you're doomed. This is largely instrumental. Starr had already left. Moore does sing on Rivers. Heavier fusion. Should we just play something? Let me
make a few notes.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to change the time of. I think we might be going a bit long on this show.
Yeah, we're going to go a little long. That's fine.
All right, I'm going to go change the time because we're supposed to have an 8:00 premiere of Asia with Rand, and I'm going to move it to 8:30 because I don't want to be in two places at once. So you talk a little bit. I'm going to fix it. All right.
So yeah, so like Grant had mentioned, Mike Starrs and Neil Murray leave the band after they did a little bit of touring for the first album. There's some radio shows out there and bootlegs of that tour. So this was recorded, Electric Savage here was recorded December of 76. And then once again, in January, Gary goes to help Thin Lizzy out on another tour. I think this was the time Robertson cut his hand in a fight. So from January to May, he's filling in with Thin Lizzy on their tour. And then this gets released in June of 77. And it's all instrumental except for one track, Rivers, which Gary sings on. It's kind of a slow ballad. Every fusion band in the 70s seemed to have like one not that great ballady vocal track, it seems like, on an album. This is more fusion and heavy rock, I think, than the previous album. To me, this has got kind of that blow by blow feel, but I think it's even a little more aggressive with the guitar and the synths than the Beck stuff. You get a little bit of a Return to Forever feel from this here and there as well. And I don't know if Grant's ready, but we're going to play the first track on here, Put It This Way. So let's go ahead and check that out.
All right, here we go. We do want to know what you think about this. We're just trying to keep it real in the feel. All Byron and I are trying to just turn you on to stuff. Let us know what you think of this track. And all right, let's hear. What's the name of this track again, Byron?
Put It This Way.
Put It This Way. Let's do it. Yeah, kind of Jeff Beck like. Jan Hammer, Jeff Beck. Japanese pressing. Yeah, a little bit of Billy in there, 100%. What can one say after that? Not much, other than that's smoked.
Yep. That's a good example of what the album's like. There's some slower things here and there, and some fast stuff like that. There's a ballad with some vocals. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Jan, Les, Frank. Yeah, Goldie's right on there. I tend to, the count, ladies and gentlemen, I tend to like this kind of music more without vocals. The count's very introspective.
There's only one vocal on here, Count.
Only one count? You're in luck then.
And it's a slow ballad, so I would suggest he just skip that one.
Marlon says the synergy between Gary and Don is really good on these two final albums.
There's a lot of back and forth with them.
A lot of back interplay.
Yes, and unison stuff. It's just incredible. Another track on here I really dig is The Scorch. It's got an extended keyboard intro by Don. It just really builds into this rocker with a kind of a quirky ending. I dig that. And then Desperado. Oh, it's a fast rocker. Don is on electric piano, and he's just
unbelievable.
Going off.
Unbelievable.
Gary's on fire on it.
I'm just going to say this.
To it at some point too. Go ahead.
You listen to Don playing like on Dio stuff or it's like or the Ozzy stuff or anything like that. No, it doesn't do Don Airey justice. Don Airey. If I could like bow down, I absolutely kills. This stuff actually kills. I'm sorry. I sound like a schoolgirl. These guys are smoking. Yeah, it's caused my whole studio to catch on fire.
Don's got a couple solo albums, and Gary plays on both of them too.
But we're going to talk about those. Touch on those. All right. All right. Cool. So there you go. Anything else you want to add about this? What would you rate this out of 10?
I'm going to give this one a 9. This is my favorite of the three. Even the last track on here too, Intergalactic Strut. Man, it's fast and heavy. It totally reminds me of Return to Forever at times. And John Heisman just goes off. Like he's going off on almost every song. So it's just smokes, man. Like you said. It
smokes. I'm going to give this a 9. This is heavy. And I do like it's mostly instrumental, though I'm not opposed to the vocals. But Marlon mentioned the interplay between people. This record sounds aggressive. It sounds like they're inspired. It sounds like they're ready to take on the world.
But they didn't.
They didn't, but they sound like they are. This is definitely a 9, 100%. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Absolutely. Jeff's going to give it a 9. Don was... I believe it. Yeah. Ken's going with the 9.5. Marlon, what would you rate this? Did you rate this? Because you're like really hardcore, Gary Moore. What would you rate this? Damien's coming at the 9.5. Wasn't released in the United States. Well, that might have been a problem.
This one was. The first one I don't think ever was. I don't know.
Yeah.
These were I thought these all released here. But.
Jason says, I bet Don played that other stuff in his sleep. Yeah, because he's underutilized. That guy is a jazz cat. I'm just going to use the word cat.
Well, I looked him up because I was like, well, what did he do before this again? And he was in Cozy Powell Hammer. And I don't know if I've got one or two Cozy Powell 45s of, whatever the hell his singles were back in those days. But I don't know that I've ever listened to any of the Cozy Powell Hammer stuff.
So there you go. If you're new to the whole Gary Moore experience, again, like I keep repeating myself, but Byron and I are here just trying to turn you on to stuff. The Warehouse, I mean, this stuff should have got much more acclaim back in the day. So we're just taking a look at it and hopefully turn you on to it. And for God's sakes, if you like physical media and you haven't gotten this stuff, please do yourself a favor and go out and pick it up.
Yeah.
And Marlon said this is almost a 10. I'm good. I'm good. Spiders, Dawn is amazing on the Deep Purple stuff. I have some of the Dawn solo stuff. Great stuff. Simon McBride is also amazing on this stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, Dawn, yeah, he's playing a lot of it. Yeah, he's in Deep Purple right now. Garbage. Yep, 100%. All right, let's jump to our next. What are we at? 50. Yeah, see, good thing I moved the Asia show to 8:30. All right.
We're covering a lot of ground here. So.
Covering a lot of ground. We might have taken on too much. Next record we're going to take a look at is 1977. The band is still on MCA. And again, the album is called War Dance. What can I say about it? It's mostly instrumental, though Gary does sing on the track Castles. It's the final album, or finds the fusion formula even more. I think when I listen to it, I think it is a bit more refined. I think it's a little bit tighter in composition. War Dance, Don Avery, when I listen to it, absolutely machine. It's a lot of great stuff. A lot of great guitar interplay. There's a lot of great interplay between Moore and the rhythm section on here. All right. But it is progressive rock excellence. We're going to play a track, and I don't remember what track we're playing. What are we playing?
We'll get to that here in a second.
Okay. All right. I'm getting all worked up.
To me, these two out, this Electric Savage and War Dance, they go hand in hand. I mean, they're like Foreigner 1 and Foreigner 2, like Grant always says. They just kind of.
I think Foreigner debut and Double Vision, even though those were recorded in different studios,
they go hand in hand.
Different producers, but I swear to God, the tonality of those records, they sound identical. They could be interplayed. Like the debut Cars album and Candio have the same tonality, different studios, but still could be intermixed. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So this was actually recorded September of 77. Now you got to remember their prior album came out in May or June of 77. So this was like 3 months later. They're recording this after the last one had come out. And this ended up getting released in October. So what was that? 4 months after the previous album had come out. And they're very similar, like you're saying, slightly different. But I think the one thing I think about this is I don't think the songs are quite as well written. You know, they're not. I feel like they kind of rushed this a little bit, so I don't like it quite as well. But let's go ahead and start with the Inquisition. Grant, we're going to play the Inquisition off.
Inquisition, 100%.
Then we'll talk about the album. I fucking love this song.
Yeah, the Inquisition. Please, Byron, let us know how you feel. All right, here we go. Off War Dance 1977, The Inquisition. Let us know what you think. has that Utopia feel to it, that first Utopia album. The icon. Yes, Bob, the icon. Yep. It's a fine line there, Damien, a fine line. This reminds me of Al Di Meola. No. Yes.
Wow. You can't put that fire out of the warehouse now. It's going to burn out of control.
I'm going to have to go out front and see if aisle 17's okay. My God. I really don't know what to say after that. I'm sorry. I'm a bit speechless. I'm
They
sorry.
threw it all into that song. They threw everything they could.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah,
Man.
that's the highlight of the album right there. But there's still some good stuff on here.
Yeah. Like he says right there, sold. Wow. Damn. Damn, that's smoking stuff. Greg said kind of ended like Frankenstein by Edgar Winter. What is that? A cigarette? Jason just put up a that was. I just really don't know what to say other than what more can you say? I'm sold. I mean, Jesus.
So the first track on here, the title track, War Dance. I feel like it's talk about some of these tracks, but it's got kind of a little bit classical feel, I think, because it's got all these strings synthesizers to it. So it's got kind of a lot of string feel to it. Put It This Way, it's a real fast and funky track. I dig that. There's a song on here, Castles. It's another one of these ballads with vocals that Gary sings, very similar to the song Rivers on the prior album. I don't think it's too bad. Fighting Talk was a really good track. It's got a lot of swing to it. Star Maiden, Mysterioso Quasar is an interesting track. It's like 3 different songs put together. The first part of it's a real slow, fretless bass feel type thing. And the last track, Last Exit, kind of a mid-tempo, real heavy closer. So it's not real fast, but it's still kind of heavy. And Gary's just going off on it. But I would give that album an 8.5, just a little bit less than the prior album.
Let me see what I actually gave this. That's funny. I gave this an 8.5 as well. I mean, it's refined, it's tight. These guys are virtuosos. What am I? Everybody on this show already know that these guys are virtuosos. Absolutely perfection as far as performances go. Maybe it's not quite as strong as Electric, but I dig War Dance. I won't throw out either one of them. Any of the 3, I'll take them all. I think great stuff. It's just a shame that none of these records sold back in the day. I just don't understand. Nathan's coming in with a 9. There you go. We got Damien's coming in with a 9. Maybe we're a little low, Byron. I'm curious what Marlon, what would you rate this? I bet he loves it. I bet he'll give it a 9.
He likes both of these. I think he probably didn't like
Blame it on MCA. What did they call MCA back in the day?
Music Cemetery of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with it. Byron, you only give this a 0.5? More than the debut?
Yeah, I'm not always the most consistent, probably, Marlon.
Marlon, what would you give it? I'm just curious. Music Cemetery of America. Yeah.
I dig the debut, though.
Greg's coming in with a 9. Everybody likes this record. I mean, I gave it an 8.5. I have no issues with it. 8.5, 9. All I'm going to say is you could get any of these records. Even the Gary Moore band, just go out, get them. If you like physical media, go get yourself something. It's out there. BGO did a twofer of Electric Savage and now I'm having a brain crisis. War Dance, which sounds great. Marlon's going a 9+++. All right, good. Ken White's coming at the 9.5. A little bit low Savage. So he rated it a little bit below Savage. Okay.
That's what I did.
So did Byron.
I might have been a little generous with the which one did I don't know if
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my numbers.
John Patterson says, yeah, I agree. Yacht rock has always been a lame monkey. Or any suggestions for something better? Well, I don't have any problem with yacht rock. It's just light rock is all it is. That's a whole thing that freaking Sirius XM came up with. Anyway, I think we've covered it.
I got a few loose ends that we'll talk about real quick.
Go ahead.
So, like I said, that came out in September. They did a little touring in the fall. There's a video you can see on YouTube, Sight and Sound's video concert of them. It's pretty good. So you get to see this lineup, I think, on that tour. So then in November of 77, they recorded this album. Let's get this. The Andrew Lloyd Webber variation.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's based on, it's a bunch of variations based on Paganini's, I think, 23rd Caprice. I can't remember. But basically, you've got Colosseum 2's on here, along with Julian Lloyd Webber, Rod Argent, Phil Collins, and other people. There's a few pretty good tracks on here. It's kind of like chamber music for like a small rock combo. And then there's this bonus 45, which has some different mixes of a couple tracks. They're different versions, actually. That's kind of cool to have. And
okay, real quick though, Byron, comparing that to everything else we looked at tonight, the other Colosseum material, how do you look at this record?
Not nearly as good as the Colosseum 2 stuff.
Okay.
It's okay.
Is it something that I should get? It's not mandatory.
No.
Okay, not mandatory. All right.
It's okay. There's some actual footage of them performing it though on YouTube. So with Julian Lloyd Webber, so you can see some of it on YouTube. So then, like I said, that came out in February of 78, but also in December of 77, Gary helped Thin Lizzy out. He helped them re-record some early tracks from like the first 3 albums. They added some guitar tracks, remixed some things for a compilation album called Continuing Saga of the Aging Orphans, but that doesn't get released until sometime in 79. That's everything that he did up till 1977. I've never seen a copy of that Continuing Saga of the Aging Orphans in the real world.
I've never seen it.
Tracks. I've got the tracks on some kind of bootleg or something though. But that's
bootleg Byron.
Yes, that's the end of 77, and so 78's a busy year for Gary Moore. We're going to end up probably talking about when we get to 78 is where's my notes? I got some notes in here.
Yeah, where's your damn notes?
Yeah. So Back on the Streets is going to get recorded. Black Rose, Thin Lizzy, and he does all kinds of other recordings.
Isn't that 78 though?
Yeah,
that's 78.
Yeah, Back on the Streets and Black Rose are all 78, and they're doing all kinds of Phil Lynott solo stuff, and we'll probably get into G-Force, which we've already kind of done a show on. But
we've done a show, but we probably should touch on it.
Yeah, and chronologically, we'll probably go. Dirty Fingers was recorded next. It doesn't get released until late 83, but we'll probably just talk about it in the order that it was recorded.
All right.
And, so we're going to kind of cover that period next time.
All right, cool. All right, I guess we're done, kids. I do appreciate it. We had big numbers tonight. I think we got almost up to 60 people watching.
Wow.
I'll take that. That's the listening party numbers. Hey, people love the Gary Moore. Or maybe Pete Pardo's speech on how people aren't watching anything took hold and everybody came over here to watch. I don't know. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody here. The way we operate in the warehouse is that we just do what we want to do. And if you like it, I'm glad. If you don't like it, I'm not so glad. But it's all about the music and it's all about turning you on to stuff. So please, if you don't have any of this stuff and you like physical media, please support whoever. Those BGO twofers of the Colosseum stuff, phenomenal. Anyway, so, all right, Byron, anything else you want to say? We'll see you next month. Do we already have Zappa on the schedule? I forget.
Yes, we do. December 11th.
So,
Ship arriving too late to save a drowning witch and Man from Utopia in one episode. So fairly short albums.
Yeah, but Byron will be back. You said the 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it down here. Zappa, 8 p.m. Anyway, at 8:30, Rand, well, we've already recorded it, but Rand and I look at our next 4 Asia albums because there's an Asia series, there's a Gary Moore series, there's a Zappa series. Damn it, there's series coming out of my ass on this program. Anyway, stick around for 8:30 and watch Rand go on and on about Asia. I'm just joking. If you don't want to, that's fine. Please leave a like, subscribe. We will see you later. And like Marlon says, Thanksgiving all. We will see you. Support Gary Moore. We will see you back later on for the series. All right. See you, everybody.